Fox has been all over the story, specifically the Faulkner Focus, and now it's heating up again. Let's get to it. Christians in Nigeria targeted by radical Islamic terrorists. It's been going on for years, but we're at a fever pitch point now because thousands of people are dying. In the latest ambush, members of a church were reportedly attacked during Sunday service. So we've seen this over and over. This is just the latest one. Over the last few weeks, they've been hitting churches with people in them and taking children and worshipers. A watchdog group says in this latest one, the pastor, his wife, and several congregants were abducted. Last month, more than 250 students and 12 staff members were taken at gunpoint from a Catholic school in central Nigeria, what they call the Middle Belt. We're now learning about 100 of those children have been freed. So the pressure that President Trump has put on the pressure of Nigeria finally yielded a little movement. They need to go find thousands and rescue the millions that are displaced. But no movement until Trump made a threat. The remaining victims are still hostages across that country. President Trump has told Nigeria's government it needs to crack down now or else. And lawmakers say President Trump is crafting a new sanctions plan to put the pressure on tighter on that government.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. And they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
The U.S. mission to the United Nations is also taking on the issue. I moderated that panel on the issue with Ambassador Mike Waltz and rap star Nicki Minaj. Here's the ambassador.
In 2019, he was the first president ever, Harris, to convene all world leaders here at the United Nations during the General Assembly and say enough is enough, and it was a global call to protect religious freedom. Clergy are being beheaded.
Yeah.
Churches are being burned, families chased out of their homes simply for wearing a cross, simply for saying Christ is King and that they worship Jesus, and enough is enough.
And there is a person on this mission, Republican Congressman Riley Moore, who just led a congressional delegation, not over Zoom, but by armored vehicle. You went into this country at a time when they are taking Christians, and you went to these camps of internally displaced people. First of all, welcome to the Focus. Tell me what the people told you.
Well, Harris, it was really shocking. The stories that we heard, the imagery, it was, I've never witnessed anything like that personally in my life. I met one woman, and I see you're showing some of the pictures, who had lost her entire family. 5 of her children were murdered right in front of her, and she was pregnant at the time and was able to escape. She had that child at an internally displaced camp, and I mean, you could just see that her soul had literally left her body. And there are countless stories like this. Another woman was attacked. Her family was attacked. She lost her husband, her 2 daughters, and they murdered her unborn child. These Islamic terrorists murdered her unborn child and took it right out of her.
You know, I don't know.
It's beyond words.
I don't know if my team has it, but we do have a picture of one of those women with her baby in her lap, and you're standing with her. So I'll ask my team to kind of shuttle through these pictures so that we can show even more. Look, Congressman Moore, the president right now is waiting to hear from you. You are preparing a report. Let's talk about the news. There she is, so beautiful. I mean, I can only imagine what it was like to have to leave that camp knowing that your mission ahead is for them.
No, absolutely, Harris. And this mission was part of our report. This was a fact-finding mission. There were 5 members of Congress in total that went there. We went to Benue State, which is one of the most dangerous states in the country of Nigeria. This is where all the Christians, a majority of them, are being murdered for their faith in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I felt that we had to go there, so we went in armored vehicles with security and went there and visited with these people, visited with these Christians, Christian associations, Bishop Anagbe, the Catholic Church, Protestant leaders as well, and got ground truth. that we're going to go report back to the president, and we're going to make recommendations in the report that he has asked us to do. He's asked myself and Chairman Tom Cole to give him a report and report back to him, and we're going to do that by the end of this month.
Are people afraid there? I mean, how many people are in these protection camps?
Well, in protection camps, probably really not the right word, Harris. They're in IDP camps, but the Fulani, these Islamic radicals, are attacking the IDP camps. They're attacking them in the camps. And for those who say this is about climate change and land and things like that and economically driven, why would you burn down a church? Why would you attack an IDP camp? Screaming Allah Akbar. I think that it's very clear what the answer is there, right? They're trying to erase the Christians in Benue State and around Nigeria from their ancestral homeland.
Yeah, and some kind of bizarre caliphate, I would imagine, is part of the plan, too. Look, Congressman Moore, I want to bring you back once that lands on the president's desk and you've delivered that report. Thank you so very much for being here first. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Harris, and thank you for all your coverage on this. God bless you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.